What's going on? We are officially live. I haven't done a live stream in a long time. So this is probably going to be a surprise for a lot of people. And I am awaiting anybody to come on here so far. Maybe I should have done like one of those advanced announcements that I was going to do this, but it's kind of a spur of the moment. I feel like whenever I do these live streams, it's a spur of the moment kind of deal. So let me know what everybody's watching tonight, first off, because I just popped in Possessor. I have it in pause in the other room, actually. I stopped to downstairs to get some snacks real quick. I was like, you know what? I am in the mood to do a live stream. So I figured, why the heck not? I need a haircut. Like, whoa. Um, and a beard trim, too. So yeah, let me know what you guys are watching tonight. If you guys have watched anything good, I feel like this year has been particularly watered down. Favorite version of A Christmas Carol? That is a good question. What was the version with, who was the actor? Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name right now. He was in, with the bouncing red ball. Wasn't he in one of those ones? I can't remember his name right now. It's gonna bug me. But the version with him, I think. I've never seen the Jim Carrey version, but I do want to see that one. With like the CG looked a little weird, but yeah, that's definitely one that I want to check out. It's the actor from the Changeling. It's the guy. Hey, Chef Justin, what's going on, man? I'm glad to see you making videos again. It's funny. I made a couple of videos playing like Magic the Gathering, and you posted some Magic the Gathering stuff too. So simpatico there. But yeah, the Changeling. He was the actor from the Changeling. He's been in a ton of different things. Patton. I can't remember his name, but I'm pretty sure he was in an adaptation of A Christmas Carol, and I remember enjoying that one. It's not my favorite of the Christmas movies though. There's been so many different iterations of it. But yeah, I don't know why, but his name slips my mind right now. Let me go see if I have. I think I have Patton on Blu-ray over here. Let me double check real quick, because it's gonna bother me. It'll be one of those things I have to look it up, but I don't. I can't look it up because I'm streaming this right now, and I don't. I thought I had the Patton digibook. Maybe I don't. I thought I did, but hopefully somebody will post in the comments. Oh yeah, I do have the Patton digibook. In fact, George C. Scott. There you go. George C. Scott. The version with him. I'm pretty sure he was in an iteration I watched a long time ago now, but I remember enjoying that one. But my favorite Christmas movie is It's a Wonderful Life, which is probably like my third favorite movie of all time. Um, but yeah. Thoughts on the Lord of the Rings 4K? I actually just posted a video that I got them in, and I haven't watched them yet. But it's funny. Apparently, there's a lot of controversy. People were posting reviews on here without actually watching them. Uh, Credibility, but I thought that was interesting. Heroic Waffles, hey brother, I hope all is well, man. Definitely have to do an out and about. Too bad. Oh yeah. So my friend Mikey on here, Heroic Waffles, shout out to him. Way back in the day, we did a video together going to Blockbuster, which is now since closed down. That was a fun time. We have to get together again. I don't know if you're still in the area or not. I remember before, I think one of your relatives lived like right down the street from me. But yeah, we definitely should get together again, especially when all this subsides and some normalcy returns. It was fun to do videos like that. I do miss Blockbuster tier. But that was definitely a fun time. It was fun hanging out with you. So we should definitely do that again. Check out Heroic Waffles channel. It's good to see you making videos on here again. Noah, let's see. I feel like, hold on. Let me just scroll through to make sure I didn't miss any comments. Justin says, thanks, good to be back. You really inspire me along with Wet Movie 1. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think it's fun to make videos on here, and if you enjoy talking movies, you should make videos too. Absolutely, that goes for everybody. But yeah, Brent, I haven't checked out the new Lord of the Rings yet, but I plan to. I'm excited to. I am a little bummed there's no special features though, and there's no Blu-ray discs on that set. So kind of surprising. I know it's kind of, the end of the year, they're gonna, a lot of people are gonna buy it for the 4K versions. But I don't know. I kind of wish it would have gone straight to the Middle Earth set or whatever set was going to be with all the special features and the Blu-rays and stuff like that. Latenia, What's your favorite Cronenberg movie? I love Videodrome. Long live the new flesh. In fact, I am watching his son's movie right here, Possessor, from Brandon Cronenberg. I just popped it in, and I went downstairs to get some snacks, some snackos, and I figured I'd go ahead and do a live stream. I was in the mood for it. Favorite Cronenberg movie? That is tough. Videodrome is up there, but I really like The Brood. I am a big fan of body horror and Cronenberg in general. He has a ton of great movies that I'm a fan of, but Brood and then probably Videodrome are up there for me. What is your favorite Cronenberg movie? Leave me that comment down below for everybody watching this. Noah Kazler says, watching the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol. I haven't seen it. I have mixed feelings. I've heard good things, but the CG effects, I don't know. I don't really like the way it looked from the trailers that I saw. Justin says he's watching Pokemon TV show right now. I think that's still on, which it blows my mind. I remember that being on when I was like a kid. I just watched A Wonderful Life all the way through the first time yesterday. I loved it. I am glad to hear that. It's my third favorite movie of all time, and it is the quintessential Christmas movie and my favorite Christmas movie. Heroic Waffles. I'm still in the area. Okay, cool. Absolutely, definitely. I'm down for that. Brandon, how much longer do you think physical media will be around? As long as we'll be alive. Um, I think it's a silly question, kind of, when people ask that, because I've heard that for literally a decade, people talking about physical media is dying. There's articles all the time about it and how, the sales are going down and this and that and streaming. It'll never go away. Vinyl records have made a huge resurgence. Vinyl records' popularity in the past decade has surged. So if vinyl records can do well, I'm not worried about Blu-rays. And I've said this for literally 10 years now. I think the future of physical media is going to be how certain companies would do limited releases, like Twilight Time would do limited to 3,000 copies, something like that. Bigger studios like Warner Brothers, Sony, Universal, Disney, they'll do, Lionsgate, they'll do limited to like 100,000 copies, something like that. But there's always going to be a market for physical media. So I don't think it will ever fully go away. So yeah, it might be a little bit of a premium, but I definitely think they'll stick around. And you can't count on streaming services. Netflix is constantly taking things down. Different services are editing. Gone with the Wind was taken down. There's going to be they're going to re-put it up there, but they're going to talk about the insensitivity of that era. And I feel like if you went to high school, you know about all that stuff, so it's kind of unnecessary. It doesn't need to be censored. And I don't know. I feel like if you're going to do it for that, do it for Schindler's List, do it for everything at that point. But yeah, I know they took down the Chappelle show because of Dave Chappelle. He wanted to because he wasn't getting the royalty money for it. But apparently they took down the '70s show and Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which I was actually kind of shocked about the Always Sunny in Philadelphia that they made that episode in this day and age. Kind of shocking. But I think, yeah, physical media will be around for a while. Did you pick up the Videodrome box set? No, I believe that was a Region B locked one, right? It wasn't here in the US, so I didn't pick it up. Nina, how are you? Favorite Cronenberg? That's a good choice. You can't go wrong there. I think the Cronenberg's The Fly is one of the best remakes out there. I really like the Hills Have Eyes remake too, but Maniac remake was surprisingly good with Elijah Wood. Who knew? Frodo. He was, when they cast that, I was like, don't know how I feel about Frodo, cut some scalps off, but it worked out really well. I liked all the actresses in there as well. There was an actress in there who I feel like should have been a bigger star. She was like a redhead. I want to say her name is like Megan Duffy or something like that. I've seen her on a few other things, and I feel like she should be. I don't know. I like her look. I thought she was a good actress, so she should be in more things. Shout out to her. Total Recall, nice steelbook, but wasn't the best 4K transfer. Sorry to hear that, but it has to be better than the previous Blu-ray transfer, which I thought looked terrible. Um, I still have one of my very first special editions was the Total Recall, like the Mars Steel 10 thing. It was terrible packaging because it would always like fall out of the little like cardboard piece that it would sit in. But I still have that though, just because it was like one of my first special editions for DVD. And then the Basic Instinct Ice Pick Pen edition as well. But again, the 4K, I have the Total Recall 4K, but I haven't checked it out yet. But again, it has to be better than the Blu-ray. So there's got to be some hope for it. I'm bummed to hear that it wasn't that great. But Brandon, just thought I would ask a bunch of the other collectors on here, always saying they think it's almost dead. But hopefully, like you said, it will continue to be around for years. Yeah, I've heard that physical media is going to be dead. I've heard that for a decade now. I'm not worried. And in this day and age, I feel like they've literally been saying for a decade, but we've had Blu-ray since then. We've had 4K since then, and 4K is doing really well right now. It's like way more things are getting 4K releases than I thought. Like Daughters of Darkness from Blue Underground 4K release, and Scream Factory just announced a bunch of 4K releases. So many more 4K releases coming up next year. So I'm not worried about physical media at all. Again, I feel like it is a bit of a niche market, but also at the same time, 4K. There's a lot of people that don't have 4K TVs and things like that. But I feel like for that market, there's a demographic. It's still selling well enough where they're still producing it. So I've heard these stories for a decade, and I'm not worried. Again, with vinyl doing as well as it's doing, we're gonna be all right. But yeah, it's a topic. I feel like it's been discussed ad nauseum. So, Fantastic Four movie with director John Watts now announced. Could Disney make? I don't think it's possible to make a good Fantastic Four movie. What was like the Roger Corman movie way back in the day of that too, and then the other Fantastic Four movies. Jessica Alba. I'll watch if she's in it. I'll watch it just for her. But um, yeah, Night of the Living Dead remake with Tony Todd. That's a great one too. The Tom Savini, absolutely. Mid-level media, what's up? Big shout out. Just watched your video, in fact, where you showed all the Walmart Blu-rays, which I never even heard of. I never heard of them, so I looked them up on Blu-ray.com and Amazon, and they weren't on either one. They weren't on Amazon. That's mind-blowing to me. Mid-level media, he recently did like a out and about video going to different stores, and one of the stores he went to was Walmart, and they had all these like Blu-rays of titles I've never heard of. And if I haven't heard of them, it's kind of shocking. And then I remember looking them up. They weren't even on Blu-ray.com. They weren't on Amazon. That just is so crazy to me. Uh, if you had to choose between Hereditary and The Witch, which one do you? For me, I love both of those movies. That's a really hard choice. But actually, it's not too much. But I love them both. But Hereditary for me is one of the creepiest movies of all time. Not just of recently, but of all time. So for me, that's become like one of my favorite horror movies ever now. I love that movie so much, and it's very divisive. There's a lot of hate for that movie. I wasn't a fan of Ari Aster's second movie, Midsommar. And you got to say it like that, Midsommar. I remember seeing like the Fangoria magazine with the character with like the deformed face, and I was so excited for Midsommar. And then when I watched it, that character was only in there for like 30 seconds of screen time. I was like, I felt gypped. And that movie just felt overly indulgent. Of course, the comparisons to Wicker Man, it felt less horror and more like folk drama, like relationship drama. Um, it's like if Lifetime, like a Lifetime movie, did Acid in where was it Sweden? But yeah, it's kind of Sweden summer camp kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that one. I know there's like a director's cut with even more scenes, but it just felt overly bloated as it was. But I feel like I'm in the minority of not liking Midsommar. Mid-level media says they're convinced Walmart has their own film studio. They must though, because like I can't be the only one that's never heard of those ones. Scrolling through, I'm trying to Best Buy, Walmart, Target. Yeah, absolutely, Jay. I was wondering where you get your movies from. Movies like the ones you can stream, like example, Bright with Will Smith. I haven't gotten those ones, but Stinky Tuna is apparently the site that I hear everybody checking out. Those like ones that are essentially bootlegs, but they'll say customs. You could say there's like legal loopholes, if you will, but there's really not for those ones on Netflix and stuff like that. But I'm not complaining. If it's the only way that you can get a physical copy, I'm for it. But Stinky Tuna is a place, if you want to get Netflix movies, they'll essentially, download them and make, a copy of them for you and charge you. I think it's like 15 bucks a pop. So for Bright, for instance, I love that movie as well. And I plan to probably pick that one up at some point. I haven't ordered from them yet, but I'm planning on it. I have a few things in the cart I'm looking at there. I was hoping there'd be like a Black Friday sale, and there really wasn't. So, but yeah. Hey, what's up, Joe? I actually just got the Christmas card from you, and I am going to be sending you a Christmas card as well. So thank you so much for that. That was really nice and caught me off guard as well. I wasn't expecting that, but I definitely appreciate it. Latenia says, when you watch Hereditary in the theaters, the audience, see, that's a shame. See, that's something that is, and that's one of the things I feel like that's part of the downfall of movies, movie theaters rather. I've been saying that for a long time. Like the movie theater experience it's changed so much in the past like 15 years. I used to love to go to the theaters. I used to go to the theaters for like every movie that came out. But now it's changed so much. Everybody's got a cell phone. Everybody's got their cell phones going off. You're not that important. Turn it the heck off. Especially if you're paying like a premium for, IMAX or something like that, movie tickets, and if you go on a date and you're getting food, you're talking about it could be like $50 right there. And then people are talking and people are acting a fool, and people bringing their little kids, their toddlers, their babies crying to go see Annabelle. I don't want to hear your crying baby when I'm trying to watch the movie. If you can't get a babysitter, leave that little bratty kid at home. I'm half joking, but I feel like it hasn't been this year that's killed movie theaters. It's definitely like the nail in the coffin, but it's been a long time coming. They've had desperation moves, adding alcohol to the movie theaters, adding like dinners and stuff like that. Personally, I don't want to get drunk to watch a movie. I don't want other people to get drunk. They're already loud and talking as it is. Add alcohol, it's gonna make it even worse. And then people like chewing on their food, dropping food everywhere. I hate all of it. um, I don't want to have a fine dining experience when I'm trying to watch a movie that I'm paying a premium for. If it's something new that I haven't seen, I want to pay attention. If I'm eating, a turkey leg, I'm not going to be able to pay attention. So I feel like, unfortunately, unless you have like an independent theater, something small like that, usually that's kind of a bit different. But if it's like a big chain, like AMC or something like that, it's been like that for like 15 years. So yeah, it's unfortunately a bad theater crowd can ruin your experience. So that's a shame that happened, because that movie's amazing. Nobody should be giggling at Hereditary. Get the F out of there for that. I'd be pissed as hell during that. Joe said he only went to the theaters once in 10 years. Exactly. I used to go all the time, and now just because of people, I haven't gone in quite a while. But yeah, I literally used to go to see every movie that came out. Justin says, I think pretty much every A24 film, or I don't necessarily think that every A24 movie is great, but I think they're unique. I think they're imaginative, so I appreciate them as a production studio. It says, my wife loves the films except for Lighthouse. Yeah, Lighthouse was wild. It's not one that I particularly loved or enjoyed. It was so bizarre, and it was not a not one I appreciated as much as seemed like everybody else seemed to. I like the director though, Karen. Uh, no, don't unsubscribe. Don't. 4K Cinema HD. What's going on, man? How have you been? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while. Uh, Scrolling through. Uh, Pedrex. I didn't. Maybe I did. Oh, hey, I missed your comment, Pedrex. What's going on? I was getting ready to go for a run, but I realized you're live and changed my mind. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I always look forward to your comments. You're always so nice, and I appreciate that. I feel like forgive me if I missed any comments, but I appreciate that. Yeah. Zach, I'm doing well. How are you doing? Lobster, I haven't seen. I do want to see Lobster just because, I don't know, that director has done really weird stuff, and it's kind of like hit or miss for me. But yeah, it's some of his, like when I watch his films, they like stay in my mind. Initially, like I remember not liking was the Killing of a Sacred Deer, and like I remember like kind of like hating it, and then like the more I just kept thinking about it, and it's like when I ended up keeping my collection because it's so bizarre. So I want to see the Lobster for sure. Oh, I had no idea. Tiny Lester just passed away. That's very sad. I would feel like I was just talking about him actually. From Friday and No Holds Barred. So uh, Ethan Elliott asks, "Are you wearing pants?" I am. It's cold right now. It's funny because in for a while, like I used to always do like live video or videos, period, without pants, and I still say, pants are the devil's clothing. First thing I do usually when I come home, take off my pants. It's just more comfortable, but it's a little cold now, so for the warmth right now, I'm keeping them on. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of pants in general usually. But rest in peace, Tiny Lester. Again, he was notably known for being a big hulking character. He was in Friday. He was in No Holds Barred. Great actor. Oh, you're moving to the Garden State. How do you feel about that? I know you're a big fan of NYC, but that's awesome. Let me know where you're moving to over here. Maybe we can hang out. I haven't. All right, so Possessor. You just asked. I just put it in. I'm only like 10 minutes in. I went to get a snack real quick, and then I was just like in the mood to do a live stream. So I've only 10 minutes in. So far, I'm digging it. I really like Brandon Cronenberg, the son of David Cronenberg. You can definitely see he's influenced by his father. The body horror elements are there. It reminds me of one of his David Cronenberg's other movies, just like the few minutes that I've seen of it. He did another movie with, I believe, Jennifer Jason Leigh, who's in this one. But Brandon Cronenberg's first movie, Antiviral, was amazing. I love the heck out of that movie. Talking about just like unhealthy obsession with celebrities. Such a unique film, imaginative film. You don't really see that in this day and age. Just usually a lot of recycled ideas. So I would definitely recommend checking out Antiviral if you're into super trippy kind of horror movies dealing with obsession with celebrities and things like that. But Possessor so far, it's very different than what I initially expected as far as the concept. I just thought it was, I saw the trailer and I feel like it didn't really go into detail, but apparently it's about this woman who is kind of like a hit woman for horror, high-end targets, and she does this like brain implant thing where she'll essentially go into somebody else's body. Andrea Riseborough, who I think is a really talented actress. She has a unique look. She was in Mandy. She was in the recent Grudge movie, which was not a remake. Actually, it was worth checking out, in my opinion. I enjoyed it. It was a side story. I feel like too many people crapped on it unfairly before they even watched it because they thought it was a remake, but it wasn't. But I really like her as an actress, so. Phil's Creepy Videos, what's up, man? How are you? Movie Watch Daily, what's up? My buddy right there. Yeah, so Possessor, I'm getting ready to watch it. I've put it in 10 minutes in. I have seen the French movie Raw. I enjoyed that one too. That was another crazy one. There's another one, I want to say, was it called Eat? I haven't seen that one yet though. But let me see, what's your preferred digital service? I don't use any streaming services actually. So I'm all physical media. I do have like Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus. I really only have for Mandalorian. But yeah, I don't have any like of those streaming services. I think a few times I watched some on like a studio sent me like review links. So that's like the only time I've used them, but I don't really use them outside of that. So, thinking of blind. Hold on. Killing really sacred deer, but stuck with me. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it sticks with you, the movies that you watch, like the Killing of a Sacred Deer. When I first watched it, I wasn't a fan, but then it just like stuck with me. I kept thinking about it. Tried getting to Italian horror, Fulci. I can understand that, but what about Argento? I feel like Argento to me, I feel like more people love Fulci than Argento, but I'm definitely way more of an Argento fan than Fulci, and I agree with you. I it's so funny you mentioned that. I picked Climax out last night to watch, and then I ended up not watching. I will be watching that by this weekend, I promise you. That is pushed up to the list, and I suck for not watching that sooner. I've been meaning to see that for forever, for ages. So I will be watching that soon. Gasparino, mixed feelings with a lot of his stuff, but I've heard such great things about Climax. I've been kind of putting off watching it, but I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it by this weekend. I had it picked out last night. Um, Alive, which I feel like there's a couple movies with the same title, Alive. Are you talking about like the zombie apocalypse one? In fact, if it's this one that I have right over here, let me pick it out. In Are you talking about this version of Alive with apparently the guy from Teen Wolf? I never knew who he was until then, but Donald Sutherland was only in here for a little bit, and I feel like he should have been in here more. He was underutilized. But I was not a fan of that movie, no. But I know there was like a couple other movies called Alive that came out even this year. Justin says, hey bro, wondering what kind of foreign films do you lean more towards watching? I really do enjoy Korean horror, especially. Puckbond007 EJ, thank you for knocking me out of the playoffs, you big jerk. What's up, EJ? How have you been? But yeah, I do love horror is my favorite genre. So usually, if I'm going to be watching horror, it's a lot of like Spanish horror or like Asian horror. Some French, the French extreme ones, but I haven't seen a really good besides Raw in a bit. No, I know, I'm real mad about that, honestly. For the playoffs, I think This is the 10th or 11th year of playing in this league, and this is maybe like the first time I've ever missed the playoffs, and I'm so mad about it. I was really hoping Scotty wasn't gonna get in so I can get in, but injuries killed me. I feel like I had an amazing draft. I went undefeated for the first few games, and then I only won like one game after that. Chris McCaffrey, Kittle went out, Debo went out, Mostert went out, Dak went out. And I did a terrible a trade that was two to get Hopkins. I traded Fuller and McLaurin and a couple other players. That was too. I gave too much up for that. But yeah, the injuries killed me. I've never had that. Oh, yeah, we both missed it, Joe. I'm so bummed about it. I was pretty frustrated with that. Man, I was like, you know what? Maybe we'll change it to 8 teams this year to get in for the playoffs instead of just the six. We're just talking some fantasy football. I've got a fantasy football Blu-ray league that I've had on here for 10 or 11 years now, with all YouTubers. So I think it's awesome. I haven't seen Peninsula yet, but I have it, and I do plan on watching it soon. I know. I was tempted. I was real mad about it. After the flight crashes. Yo, that Alive. Yes, I have seen that with. I want to say Ethan Hawke is in it, right? And a few other recognizable people. I've seen that forever ago. I do enjoy the heck out of that. There's a few different takes on that true stories, like the soccer team that the plane crashed into the Andes. I love that movie. It doesn't have a Blu-ray release. It definitely deserves a Blu-ray release. I have the Coda Godfather 3. You see, that's the thing. I get a lot of movies in, and sometimes there's like a backlog, but that's on the list to check out as well. I haven't seen Ava. I haven't heard too many things about it, in fact. I know of it. Is it worth checking out? Let me know. Scrolling through. Free Grogu. Yes, absolutely. The Mandalorian episode. I love that episode, but it definitely, I want to see more. I don't want to wait. Movie reviews, they're coming soon. I actually just made a post on here that I want to make a movie review, one a week. So I'm going to try to do one next week. I know I miss doing them, but I just really hate editing. So I'm going to be doing one coming up soon next week. I don't know what movie for yet. I had like a list of ones I want to do, but then like time keeps passing, and I'm like, I need to rewatch it to really do a proper review for it. Oh, I'm sorry about the Mando. I don't really say too much, but yes. Um, Let me know about Ava for sure. The movie, which I feel like I haven't heard anybody talk about it. Uh, Scrolling through on here. The new 4K Dawn of the Dead set. All right, so I got a screener disc for that. I didn't get the box set. I wrote to them. I was like, because I saw other people on here get a review copy, so I took my shot. You got to shoot your shot for it, right? So I ended up not getting the box set, but they sent me a screener disc for it. I'm gonna check it out. I didn't want to spend, was it like 99 bucks for just the one movie? I get it. It's an amazing film, and there's multiple cuts, but I just didn't want to spend that much for one movie. I love the film though, and now I kind of still waver about it. But yeah, the box set itself looks amazing. I'm gonna check out the transfer. I have the old, like the DVD set back in the day. I've got a Blu-ray for it. I got a couple Blu-rays for it. The Arrow UK one over there, and then I have the old out of print edition up here somewhere over there, which I was able to get signed up by Tom Savini, the only US Blu-ray for it. Have you seen the new SBTB reboot? I don't know what that is actually, SBT. Break it down for me without using the acronym right there. I'm trying to see. I want to scroll through right here. Yeah, here we go. This is the one right there. The old, was it Anchor Bay? Yeah, Anchor Bay, which no longer exists anymore. I'm kind of bummed about that, but love that. And then Dead Alive, hopefully that will get a 4K treatment. I've heard that for a while for all of Peter Jackson's movies. That's long out of print as well. Both of those are. So, and then I have the Arrow video one over there in the window box. But yeah, I don't know. I figured I'd do a live stream. Haven't done one of these in a while, and it's fun. I like the instant interaction. So I dig it, and I'm getting a little bit parched. So I'm gonna prop you guys up right here while I sit down and have a tasty beverage. There we go. Coconut water. Vita Coco. But yeah, let me know what you guys are watching tonight. I feel like the Micro Machines guy when I'm like talking a mile a minute on here. So yeah, I see there's 20 people in here right now. Could you guys do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up? Giving the video a like will help it get more exposure when I do these live streams in a video. So please give the video a like. I appreciate it big time. So thank you for that. What do you think the future of movie theaters will be? I was just talking about that. I feel like the future of movie theaters will be like drive-in movie theaters, where there's going to be less of them. There's still going to be some, mostly independent though. For the past 15 years, the movie theater experience has gone way downhill in my opinion. People talking, bringing their kids in, babies are crying in rated R movies. I don't want to hear your baby crying when I'm, trying to watch Annabelle or whatever horror movie. If you can't get a sitter, don't ruin the experience for everybody else, unfortunately. Sorry, that's just reality. And then people talking on their cell phones going off. You're not that important. Put it on silent. People talking. So I feel like it was a last-ditch effort. This year wasn't, what killed movie theaters. It was the nail in the coffin for sure. But their last-ditch efforts were trying to bring alcohol in and dinner. I think that just made it even worse. I don't want people getting drunk when they're already talking and being loud. So I think it's going to be like drive-in movie theaters, where it's just going to be a few in every state, essentially. Maybe one in a county, one and two in a county, something like that. So a lot of the chains are going to go under, but there's still going to be independent ones like that. There's still going to be a place to watch movies in the theater if you want to, but it's going to be more like for nostalgia. I think it's really people that ruined movie theaters, and less, what's going on in the world today. But unfortunately, people can be kind of terrible sometimes. As much as I love streaming at home, you can't beat the experience of movie theater, especially big blockbusters. I feel like nowadays people have such great, at-home theaters. So I feel like, again, the movie theater experience for me, I used to love going to the movie theater. I used to go and see every movie that came out. But now I just don't, because the people ruined the experience. Somebody was on here talking about when they went to go see Hereditary and people were laughing and giggling, and that they could ruin the movie experience for other people, because people are, people can be terrible sometimes. But let me know what you guys are watching tonight. After I get off of this live stream, I'm going to finish watching Possessor. Just popped it in, watched about 10 minutes so far. Brandon Cronenberg's second movie. Check out his first movie, Antiviral. Really creative, unique film. He's the son of David Cronenberg, Canadian body horror legend. But yeah, let me know what you guys are watching tonight. Let me know what movie recommendations you have for me to watch too. As far as like horror movies for this year, some of my favorites would be The Dark and the Wicked, I think was one. It was like an RLJ entertainment movie. Didn't really love the ending, but it was super creepy and atmospheric. Take it easy. So that's one of my favorites. There's a Korean one called The Call. It's not perfect, but I love the one actress in there who played like the serial killer. She was amazing. Run was kind of like Misery-esque, Ma-esque. Again, it's kind of a watered down year, so that'd be one of the better ones. But I see people with like their lists that have movies like One Bedroom and The Lodge and Invisible Man. Don't trust those lists. It's all subjective, I get it, but those are some movies that I did not enjoy this year. I wanted to like The Lodge, again, especially with the snowy setting, but I feel like that movie fell flat on every level, especially the ending. Very disappointing in that one. Invisible Man, I just thought was one of the worst movies I've seen this year. That one got so much love too, and I just don't get it at all. Invisible Man, I hated that movie so much. You have to suspend disbelief with movies, especially horror movies, but that is one that... Marie, what's up? I was just talking to Joe on here. I got your Christmas card. Thank you so much. I'm going to send a Christmas card your guys' way as well. But yeah, Invisible Man is one where you have to suspend disbelief, but every scene was so absurd and so ridiculous that you can't. You can only suspend disbelief so much. And that movie like deserves like a riff track. Maybe I should do that at some point, because I don't understand the love for that movie, but to each their own. Nina, absolutely. Let me scroll through these comments again. Forgive me if I missed some
Tales from the Hood 3. How was that? I haven't even seen the second one. I love the first one, but I haven't heard good things about the second one and the third one. I feel like they pushed the third one out pretty quickly. My favorite boutique label. Do you mean like Criterion or do you mean like Nova Media, something like that? I don't have a lot of those like Nova Media ones. I have like a couple. I've got, I think it's a Nova Media for Tale of Two Sisters, and then I've got Apocalypto with the lenticular cover. I can't remember which company put that out right now. I don't buy a lot of those ones because I feel like it's a lot of mainstream like superhero kind of movies, and I'm not, it's popcorn entertainment, but those aren't my favorite movies to watch. Excuse me, horror is my favorite genre by far. But if we're talking about like, movie or like labels like Arrow Video, Criterion, stuff like that, those would be like my top two favorites: Criterion Collection, Arrow Video. I really like Twilight Time, and I'm bummed that they went out. That was disappointing for me, but I thought they put out a lot of good films. I loved what they did with just their packaging and stuff like that, and their transfers. Um, but yeah, those would be some of my favorites from that. Steelbooks have been on fire. Got another chance to get the Halloween one. Oh wow, that's awesome. I thought that was out of print, so that's a big find right there. Actually, I love that Steelbook. Did get any import titles from Australia? I actually got a couple recently. I got Half Baked from Umbrella. That's when I had to get. We don't have a U.S. Blu release here, so that's for me like my favorite stoner comedy movie ever. I think it still holds up. I love the heck out of that. And then there's an alternate ending too. I love that alternate ending for it. I kind of wish they used that as the real ending for the movie, but I love that movie so much. But I do want to pick up The Fire in the Sky, which is coming from, I can't remember which Australian company, but it's an Australian company. I believe it's region free. Fire in the Sky is like one of my all-time favorite movies. The movie that creeped me out the most growing up as a kid. Imprint. Thank you. I thought it was Imprint, but I wasn't 100% sure. So a couple people said Imprint. Thank you. Thank you. Matt in 4K Cinema HD. Yeah, I definitely am going to pick that one up. I still on pre-order. I think it comes out at the end of December. So I'm going to put that in probably this weekend. But yeah, that was the movie that scared me the most as a kid. It's an alien abduction movie, and I'm super for that. I don't know why we don't. I know it's going to happen. I'm going to pick it up from Imprint, and then they're going to release it over here in the U.S. That happens so many times. I picked up like I think it was like the Canadian version of Slither, and then like a few months later, it was released on Scream Factory. Like things like that always happen. So that's what'll probably happen. Like Warner Archive or something will probably release it on Blu-ray right after I get it from Imprint. But right now, it's the only chance. I know like Stinky Tuna, I think has it too, but I'm gonna get it from a legit company. But let's see, 12. Oh wow, I feel like a lot of people are still waiting for their like Black Friday orders and stuff like that. I know Warner Archive has their different sales and stuff, and they have some really good titles to pick up as well. There's a few I want to pick up from them too, but I'm still waiting on my Vinegar Syndrome order. I feel like everybody's waiting too. I'm waiting for my Friday the 13th replacement discs. I know they sent me an email to everybody, I think yesterday, that it's going to be extended to January 4th. So everybody should get theirs until January 4th. But yeah, apparently there's a lot of people complaining about, they haven't got it because they sent out, like they were supposed to be, I think last month, they're going to be sending them out and nobody's gotten them yet. Yeah, I definitely agree. The Arrow Video, like I love Arrow Video as a company, one of the best companies out there releasing for sure. Their standard releases, but their box sets are. Vinegar Syndrome, though, their slipcovers are amazing. I don't love all their movies. Some of the movies they've released, I was like, this does not need a slipcover at all. This doesn't even need a release. But their slipcovers are amazing. So I picked up a few titles from them, including Beastmaster. I haven't watched that since I was like a kid. And it's funny, I was gonna get I think Umbrella release for that. I think they have that was the company in Australia that released Beastmaster on Blu-ray. But then I saw it got the 4K treatment, and I definitely had to pick that up. Yeah, Marie, Joe, I've seen some of your posts recently, some of the movies you guys were watching. I was like, oof, you guys are gonna be in for a rough time for some of them. But yeah, I can't remember. I think it was. Did you guys watch something from Wild Eye recently? I remember somebody posted something about Wild Eye. I can't remember if it was you guys or not, but I feel like I don't know if I've ever watched a good movie from Wild Eye. I take it, but there's like one or two, but the majority of Wild Eye releases, yeesh. uh, rough. I remember it's so funny. I remember I did a video on here, like kind of Saturday Night Vlog video where we watched. I can't remember what was the Jurassic Dead from Wild Eye, and it was horrendous. One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. And we watched it when it like before, I think we got like a review copy for it, and then within like 6 months, it was at the Dollar Tree. I was like, that's wild, Wild Eye. But yeah, they do like really low budget stuff, like shoestring budget. Unfortunately, you know, a lot of those movies, they're just, if you know, your friends and family are going to enjoy it, but there's not too many people outside of that market that are going to enjoy it, and some of them should not be charged at all for watching those ones. It's rough. Battle of attrition. Oof, yeah, that's a tough job. If Marie, if you're watching those Wild Out titles to purge from the shelves, I just say blind purge some of them. Matt says you need to pick up At Close Range from Imprint. When you were firing in the sky, it's based on true story. I might have that on Twilight Time. I pretty sure. Yeah. Bam. Really underrated movie, in fact. I don't hear anybody really talking about this one, so props to you for mentioning it, but I do have the Blu-ray release already. It's probably out of print. I know it was limited to 3,000 copies and came out a bit ago, but I love the heck out of this movie. Twilight Time, again, I loved them as a company. I feel like they did an amazing job on their releases. Just packaging-wise, one of the like little things like this, they would have blurbs from, you know, different reviewers or critics, but the way they would put the little boxes around the year that the film came out, the runtime. A lot of times when I'm looking on the back of a movie, I want to know the runtime, the year it came out, and I can't find it. Sometimes it's not even listed. So little things like that, and you know, it would come with a booklet, you know, disc artwork, interior artwork as well. And I always appreciate when they come with a booklet. So tremendous performances in here. And now I feel like I want to rewatch this. It's been a while, but love this film. Matt says, yeah, Twilight Time release is going for like $100. Holy moly, I had no idea. Sitting on gold right here, but this is a keeper for me. I don't care what the price point is. Absolutely. So yeah, thank you for pointing that out, though. I feel like there's so many different titles that go out of print, and I just don't even realize it. Like, it's crazy. I actually just saw somebody, I bid on this lot on eBay where it was like 34 Blu-rays, including a signed movie of Full Metal Jacket, like the basic standard Blu-ray, but it was signed by Arlie Emery, the drill sergeant, and they only ended up getting $55 for the Blu-rays, and it was like 34 Blu-rays, and then they charged 22 for shipping, which it's not going to cost 22 bucks to ship that. They're going to make a little money off of that, but it's really like $2 a Blu-ray, and I feel like they should have sold the Arlie Emery Blu-ray separate. That would have gotten, you know, at least like $40 probably. He signed a lot of stuff. I have him on a couple things myself. But still, that would have, you know, garnered some of it, the price point. And then I also have The Road, which is out of print with Viggo Mortensen, post-apocalyptic movie, which I absolutely love. I have the Steelbook version of it, but I do want to get the regular Blu-ray version too. The Steelbook version's from, I don't know, like Sweden or something like that, but they have like out of print stuff, and I feel like people don't even realize it's out of print. So that right there, if you look on eBay, that sells consistently for like $25 alone. So I feel like they got ripped off, and they just because they didn't know any better, unfortunately. So many people don't realize what's out of print, and including myself, stuff goes out of print all the time. Sometimes stuff comes back in print or gets, you know, a re-release as well. Like I remember the Mean Girls was out of print, going for like crazy money for a little bit, and then it got re-released. What's the most money I've ever spent on one title? I have two for you. So back in the day, probably like 9 years ago, I bought a DVD edition of the Wonder Years. It was like the holiday special, and that was super expensive. I want to say it might have been like $80, but it was my all-time favorite TV show. It had no physical media release at the time. It was the only actual release, and excuse me. And now I have like the Locker 10 with the whole series. But then I also spent like, it's a heat box edition. Excuse me, Vita coconut water, making me burp right there. It's a heat box edition from Japan. It's for two movies. It's for Deep Red and Suspiria. And I've meaning to show this off for years, but I want to say it was like 150, but it's super rare. I've only seen like one other person on YouTube to have it. And it's essentially, it's all black on the outside, but if you put your hands on it, it for a couple seconds, the heat will initiate, the black will go away, and it'll reveal pictures underneath that. So that's like the most I've probably ever spent on just one thing, one addition right there. I try to be a little careful with what I purchase, but yeah, those are like the two most expensive things I ever. If we're talking about outside of like Seinfeld box set, with the fridge, the Best Buy edition, that was probably around like 150 or something like that too. But yeah, I try not to. Well, the Friday the 13th set, but if you're talking, I assume you're not talking like box sets, right? So. Oof. Don't do it, Matt. Don't do it. It's funny. I kept the old DVD version of the Slumber Party Massacre trilogy, essentially. But yeah, let me know what's the most expensive you've ever spent on a non like box set. I know there's a lot of stuff out of print that goes for crazy money. Yeah, 30 Days of Night Blood. Yeah, I've never been able to find. I think maybe like one other person I think I've seen have that one too. That steelbook. That's a keeper for me. I love that. Again, 30 Days of Night is one of my all-time favorites. So yeah, that steelbook Blood Pack one. I've seen some of the other ones. The Spanish Blood Pack metal packs come up recently on eBay, but it's ones I've already had or ones I wasn't that. I kind of want to get some of the other ones to kind of complete the set, although I think it's impossible because some of those ones never come up for sale. I want to put those little like notifications on when it does come up. eBay will like text you or something like that. But I feel like every time I've done that, I've never got a notification. Maybe those things have never come up, the things I've been looking for, like some standees. True Romance is getting a 4K release from Arrow. When? That's amazing. I'm definitely down for getting that. I have the Mad Magician, by the way, from Twilight Time. That is, yeah, I know your 3D collection is, you're the #1 person for 3D, for sure. Have you seen Sorority House Massacre 2? I haven't. I think I've only seen parts of the first one, because I remember I had a DVD of it, and it was like, it kept skipping. So I've never watched the complete one for the first one. Scrolling through, I want the 2020 Halloween 10 book. In the snow globe, I didn't even. Oh, the snow. Yeah, you know what, the Halloween snow globe that I have, that goes for, I don't know. Last time I checked, it was selling for like $300, which blows my friggin' mind. But I was lucky to get that long ago, so I didn't spend much money on it. But I know that there is a Halloween 2 VHS, like the original, or maybe it's not. I don't think it's actually even the original release for it. But that is going for like $31,000 on eBay right now. But I think the proceeds are going to a local like video shop. I think that's why it's so expensive. But I like people keep posting in different horror groups and stuff, in VHS groups, and it's the Halloween 2 VHS with the rainbow, like I think it's an MCA on the cover for a VHS tape. $31,000. It's real life. This is happening. But yeah, again, I think it's because the proceeds are going to save like this local shop. I think that's what it is. But that was mind blowing when I saw that. I was like, what is going on? Have you ever bought a special edition and then sometime later, better limited edition has come out? I'm sure that's happened. I can't think of it offhand. I recently bought a movie. Oh, Joe, I wanted to ask you too. Did you pick up Blue Monkey, the Blu-ray for that? Let me know if you picked that up. Because it has a limited slipcover, but I think they're re-releasing it without the slipcover too. Insect, yes. So let me scroll through here. Fright Night. Oh, that's awesome. 450. My friend Joe on here, Martinez Joe 74, has over 450 3D titles. That's amazing. Holy moly. That is impressive. How many are there? Like, that is super impressive. Let me scroll through here. Forgive me if I've missed any comments on here. I do appreciate everybody commenting. But sometimes I'll, talk and I'll miss some of the comments. So, but I definitely appreciate everybody. Stinky Tuna has What About Blob? I'm thinking about picking that up. I haven't ordered from Stinky Tuna yet. It's a website that essentially makes bootlegs. We'll call them customs. They'll say there's a legal loophole. There's really not, though, for those ones, especially a lot of like the Netflix ones that they're doing. But I'm not mad about it, because if that's the only way to get a physical copy, I'll do it. I want that physical. You can't rely on Netflix. I heard they're actually going to be taking down The Office. They were going to take it down before. They took down the Chappelle Show. Chappelle wanted the money for the royalty. It wasn't getting. I get that. Took down the '70s show, Always Sunny. Always Sunny. I was surprised because of the controversy with that one. I was surprised they made that episode at all in this day and age. But yeah, absolutely. I do want to check out Stinky Tuna and get some of their boots. In fact, I'll show you a few boots I've got right over here for Blu-ray that I haven't done an update for. They're not from Stinky Tuna though. But I do have some items in the cart from Stinky Tuna. The Night Comes For Us, which is a Netflix one. Bebe's Kid, which, how does this not have a Blu-ray release? I love this movie. The Babysitter, although I want better artwork for that. I want the artwork that they use on Netflix. But Samara Weaving is a babe, and she's awesome. And I didn't care for the second one. The first one, though, I love. Hush, which is like one of the most underrated horror movies for me. I love this movie so friggin' much. It's such a simplistic plot, but it works so well. It's so creepy, so atmospheric. I love it. And then Freaks with the custom like Criterion design, which actually I think would make a great Criterion release. Todd Browning classic right there. But those are some Blu-ray boots that I picked up kind of recently. And yeah, I definitely want to check out Stinky Tuna though and place an order from them. I've seen a lot of people talk about them, but I haven't checked them out yet myself. I've got stuff in the bin, in the cart right there. I was actually hoping that they would have like a Black Friday sale, and they didn't. Maybe sometime soon, but there's a few things I want to get from there. I want them, they do Netflix, but I want them to do Hulu stuff too. I really want the one with Andy Samberg. There's a Hulu movie, which I can't think of the name of it right now, but it was like it's a rom-com. It's actually like a weird, it's not time travel kind of, but in that kind of realm. But I can't remember the name of it right now, but it has Andy Samberg in it, and I love that movie so much. It's a Hulu one, but I'd love to see them start doing the Hulu releases too. Thank you so much, JFP85. I appreciate that. If I could, how do I like that? How do I give it like a super like? Is that a thing on here? Is there a super like for that? Oh no, you retracted the comment. Don't retract it. I was gonna give it like a super. There's no way to like put a love thing on that, but I would. But you retracted it. Teardrop. Thank you. I don't know how do I send a super like on that? There's nothing positive I can do for that. There's put user in timeout, remove, report, hide user from this channel, or add moderator. I wanted to just give you a super like right there. Wow, we have to pay for super likes? What the F is that? What is that? I just want to give him a big, happy love thing for that comment because that's such a nice comment. Matt says, I gotta get True. Yeah, True Lies is one that for sure is like one of the first things I'm gonna order from Stinky Tuna. How does that not have a? I know there's like some issue with James Cameron. He wants to oversee the restoration. I think that's the big deal with that one. But that one is like from like day one. That's one that needed a Blu-ray release. I'd like to see get a 4K release, but at this point, I would settle for the Blu-ray. So I'll definitely be picking that up from Stinky Tuna. Joe says he has 12 Stinky Tuna boots. Absolutely. I hope they do like. If Stinky Tuna doesn't have Hulu, I will give them my Hulu password so they can make some Hulu boots for sure. The baby, yeah. I didn't really like the second Babysitter movie. It was a little bit too derivative. I didn't like what they did with the main character too. I don't know. To me, it pales in comparison to the first one. I can do without owning that one in the collection, but I love the first one. Fright Night 2. I've had a Fright Night 2 Blu-ray bootleg for like 7 years. So I'm actually good with that one. There's been other, I think it was like an Italy release for like a while. Would you recommend Possessor in 4K? I just started watching it, so I haven't been able to say. So far the picture quality looks amazing. So 4K Cinema HD, pretty sure Shout Factory. Oh, I would love to see Shout Factory do a Nightmare on Elm Street box set. I love what they did with the Friday the 13th box set. Again, I'm still waiting on those replacement discs, but I'm cool. I'm not actually too stressed about it. There's some people like, I remember like this happens all the time, like on different Facebook groups I'm part of. I'll sell a couple of movies and they'll buy it like Sunday night, or they'll buy it like Saturday night, and they'll message me Sunday morning. I was like, first off, the post office isn't even open. Chill the heck out. But yeah, like people need to relax. You have to understand there's a lot of people that are getting those replacement discs, You know, it's a crazy time for the world, let alone, you know, Black Friday, Christmas, all that. So that's going to affect all that. So just relax. And most of those issues were only like a second, you know, each. So not that big of a deal. But I'm happy that they addressed it and they sent out another email talking about January 4th. Everybody should get it by then. So that's cool. But I'd love to see Scream Factory do a release for Nightmare on Elm Street because the set they have out now, which right here, is a joke. This is a joke. Terrible release. It's not on the same level as the Omen, though, the original Omen release. Thanks Scream Factory for releasing that, though, again. But yeah, the old DVD box set was awesome for Nightmare on Elm Street. And I hope they do another release like that in that style, where, you know, it's each title kind of like lines up to make a Freddy 2. And I'd love to see a re-release for the Leprechaun films. It's a guilty pleasure for sure, but I love those films. I love what they do with their box sets. The Fly collection, the Omen collection, the Wreck collection, Critters. So, and then the Friday 13th is amazing. What a time to be alive for film fans, physical media collector. People talking about physical media is dying. Open your eyes. It's alive and well. It's prospering. It's doing amazing. We've got the Friday the 13th collection deluxe edition box set, and you're talking about it's dying. You're out of your mind. I feel like the US gets a lot better releases than Canada does. It's interesting because I feel like Canada gets a lot of releases here that I would love that, you know, that we don't get. There's one that was Steve Carell. I think it was an Amazon Prime movie. It was called Beautiful Boy. His son deals with addiction issues. I think it's, what's that kid's name? Timothy Chalamet, I think. But that movie was amazing, and that has a Canadian release. There's a few ones, like I got Slither on the Canadian Blu-ray years ago, and then Scream Factory put it out right after I bought it. But yeah, there's so many great Canadian Blu-ray releases that we don't have here in the US, but I get it for sure. And then you guys also have some really cool slipcovers sometimes that we don't get. Have you seen Uncle Peckerhead? I have, actually. I thought that was a great, hilarious, you know, it's low budget horror comedy about like a band and this crazy guy who turns into a monster and starts killing people. Uncle Peckerhead. I'm going to talk about that in a future video. I got the Blu-ray for that. It was a fun time, and it was filmed, I think, in Jersey, too. And the one guy is actually in a real band. I think he did a lot of the music for it, which I actually really dig the music for it, too. But so I thought that was a really fun time. But again, you have to be a fan of low-budget horror. But Uncle Peckerhead was much better than I expected it to be. It's a cheese-tastic fun time. It has, I think, a short film on there, too. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed that one. I feel like you're the only other person I know who's talked about that one, so props. Scrolling through, they should do a Slumber Party Massacre 4K. You know, maybe they will. Scrolling through. Yeah, absolutely. Disney's buying everything. Disney owns so much. You know, ABC, ESPN, UFC, Fox. So I don't know. I want to see what they're going to do. Star Wars, you know. Talk to a rep with Stinky Tuna that I have in contact with to get the happiest season. The happiest season? I don't know what that is. But I didn't know they even had reps. Put me in contact. Let me see if they can, you know, get some Hulu stuff. Joe, hook that up. I feel like I got Matt. I feel like I got the Slumber Party Massacre, the first one, and like when it came out on Scream Factory for like the DVD, like forever ago, and it came with like the blood-soaked pillow, which I have that somewhere. I gotta find that, but I remember that was like a rare thing to have back then. But I have the old DVD way back from the day. Have you seen what was it, Siberian film? Yes, I have. I did a review on that like forever ago. Serbian film. There we go. Not Siberian. Serbian film. But yeah, I did a review on my old channel, and I got like, I want to say 100,000 views. I don't even know what it's up to now, but forever ago, 100,000 views. And I remember right after that, that channel got like hacked, so I ended up making a new channel. I ended up getting that channel back, but then it was too late. So yeah, I feel like I wish I would have stayed on that channel, but what can you do? But yeah, I did a review for that forever ago. It is not for everyone, for sure. And that's getting like a new Blu-ray release too. But yeah, I don't know. I could probably do without ever watching that movie again. Definitely a crazy movie that I wouldn't recommend for 90% of the population. But thank you guys for tuning in on here. I do appreciate it. I'm gonna do more of these live streams coming up soon, especially during like Christmas break and stuff. I'll be on here probably a few times more. But I am going to be getting off of here right now and finishing up Possessor, and then I will let you guys know what I think about it. And I know people asked on here too, so I feel like a lot of people are interested in this movie right now. And definitely check out Brandon Cronenberg's first movie, Antiviral, and let me know what your favorite David Cronenberg movie is. But I'm gonna be getting ready to go right now, and thank you guys all for tuning in. I appreciate it, and I hope everybody is doing well. And stay tuned for more live videos coming up. And also leave me in the comments, let me know what you guys are watching tonight. Take care. Have a good night.